Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates workout. Today we are going to be working our abs, arms, glutes, and thighs. I'm going to be adding the use of a booty band, resistance band for my lower body work. It is totally optional. You can do all of the moves without any band and still get in a great workout. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're not going to need the band till the end, so I'm just going to place it off to the side. We're going to get into an all fours position to start off with, and we're just going to curl the toes, scoop the belly in, and lift up into a downward dog. So just drawing those heels down toward the mat, flattening out the upper back, breathing deeply here, lifting the tailbone up toward the ceiling. We're just going to pedal out the feet. So drawing, alternating heel down to the mat, really lengthening through that spine, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Level out the heels, drop the knees gently to the mat. Bring yourself into a kneeling position, and from here we're just going to circle, alternating arm back. So circle one back, then the other, moving on the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you backstroke your arms, opening through the chest, growing up nice and tall through the crown of the head for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to bring the feet forward on the mat. Scooping belly in, sitting up nice and tall, holding onto the backs of the thighs. The legs are hip distance apart and the heels are pressing into the floor. From here, we're going to warm up the abdominals. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're just going to curve the spine into the shape of a C and roll back, straightening the arms, belly to spine. Deep inhale. And exhale, pull belly in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, and roll up. We'll take another one with the hands there for support, rolling back, shoulders down away from the ears, abs are engaged. Hold, and then breathe out to lift, sitting up nice and tall, stacking the vertebra. Now I'm going to float the arms out in front, palms are facing down. We're going to lower and lift. Let's move on the breath. Inhale, we'll lower. Exhale, belly to spine to lift. So really engage that abdominal wall as you roll back with control, keeping those feet in contact with the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, abs contract toward the spine to lift. We've got 3, 2, roll back a little further if you can, and a last one, roll back, come all the way up, and now I'd like you to roll back just to the point where you can feel those abs switching on, but not to your maximum roll back. So abs are engaged, back is not straining. If you need to come up a little bit more, please do so. We're going to add some bent leg lifts. So we're going to lift the right leg and lower, just tapping the heel. We're going to lift the toes off the mat, lift the left leg and lower. Right leg lifts and lower, maintaining the bend in the leg. Abs are engaged. Inhale and exhale. Good. Nice work, good control. Keep it up. Roll back a little bit further if you want more of a challenge on those abs. 3, 2, nice strong arms, and 1, roll all the way up. Now for our next set, you can keep your legs bent, or if you want more of a challenge, we're going to lengthen the legs out long. Arms come out in front, palms stay facing down. We're rolling back, engaging those abs, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. So if you're not able to engage your abs or you're losing control, go back to those bent leg lifts and finish off the sets with your knees slightly bent. Makes it a little bit less challenging. Good. We've got 5, 4, belly to spine. And last one each side. Nicely done. Hold here and then roll down one vertebra at a time. Find the center of your mat. Amazing work. From here, we're going to bring the arms overhead. Knees are bent. We're going to start off on this right side. We're going to bring the right knee in toward the chest, and as we do so, we're bringing the arms toward the side of the body, palms facing down. Lower, we're extending the leg, and then exhale, lifting with a straight leg. So we're lowering, coming in with a bend, lowering, coming up with straight leg. If straight leg is too much, I want you just to come in with a bend every time, like so. Otherwise, you're alternating between a straight leg and a bent leg. Every time you curl up, you're bringing your head atop your shoulders and flattening your abdominal wall down to the mat. Nice work. It's an exhale every time we crunch up. Low back is pressing down onto the floor. We've got 3 and 2 and final 1, and relax it down with a bend. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. So bring arms overhead, palms facing up toward the ceiling, and crunch up. And extend. Good. Alternating between the 2 leg positions as we work into those upper and lower abs. Challenge yourself by picking those shoulder blades up a little bit higher off the floor. Really contracting belly button down toward the spine, and keep pointing through the toes so your leg muscles are switched on as well. Good. We've got 5 and 4. Drive the knee in toward the chest. 3 and 2 and final 1. Relax head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat. Amazing. Now we're going to go into a variation of the hundreds. We're going to bring our legs into tabletop. So the knees are bent and above the hips. Shins are parallel with the mat. We're going to come up and pump the arms at the sides of the body for 5 on our inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to extend the legs out long like so. So we're inhaling, come up, pumping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then extending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving between the 2 positions. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, keep it up. Inhale and exhale. If it's too much with head, neck, and shoulders lifted, you can lower them down on the mat. You can also lower them on the bend and lift them on the extension. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Keep pulsing those arms. Nice, strong arms. Engaged abs as you breathe out in particular. Right on that extension, we're flattening the abdominal wall. Good. Keep going. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe it out. And relax it down. Bring your knees in towards your chest. You can gently rock your knees from side to side, either supporting your head in your hands or holding onto your shins, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nicely done. Lower your feet down to the floor, stretch your body out long, and move over onto your side. We're going to target our obliques now. You have a couple of different options for your setup in terms of a level of challenge. So I'm placing my forearm down on the mat. Elbow is below the shoulder, forearm is parallel with the top of the mat, fingers are spread. So you can either come into a full plank, side plank for these crunches, or you can have both knees bent like so, or you can have one leg extended, bottom leg bent for a little bit of support. I'm going to keep one leg down and extend one leg out long. You can switch between the positions as you start if you need to. I'm going to place my hand just behind my head, careful not to push it forward. Chest is nice and open, hips are stacked. We're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. So make any little adjustments you need to. Make sure that you're really lifting up that lower hip. Good. If you're feeling strong here and you've got one knee down, you could extend the level of challenge just a little bit further by elevating that top leg. Getting rid of some of that stability. Good. Working those obliques, belly to spine, cinching in that waistline as we lift and lower. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold at the top of that lift and we're going to pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold, lift an inch higher and relax it down. Amazing work. Now we're going to do the other side. So positioning yourself on your forearm, legs are bent or extended, hand comes just behind the head, and we're lifting up. So make sure that you're nice and stacked in that hip area, your chest is open, your elbow is below your shoulder, and let's go. Good, really picking up that lower hip, making this movement count, cinching the belly in toward the spine. Good. I'm going to pick up that top leg, increase the level of challenge slightly. Focusing on those obliques, doing the work here to lift and lower the body. We've got 6, 5, 4, lift a bit higher, and 1, hold. Abs are in and we're pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Relax it down. Amazing work. Now, we're going to target our upper body for these next couple of moves. I'm going to get into position for plank, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of variations here. So we're all going to start off in a full plank, right leg, left leg. Now from here, we're going to slowly lower the chest down to the mat, bending at the elbows, lowering like one piece of steel. As soon as you need to, drop your knees. When your chest is just hovering a couple inches off the floor, you should definitely have your knees down. And then we're going to push the mat away, up through the heels of the hands, and sink back toward the heels. So we're coming forward. We're going to shoot forward in plank. We're lowering as far as we can without dropping our knees. Drop your knees at the very last instant or sooner if you need to. Push the mat away using your upper body strength and sink back onto your heels. So shoot forward, lower with control, lower your knees, weight in the heels of your hands, elbows in close toward the side of the body as you push up and away. Good, shoot forward, abs in, lower with control. Drop your knees, push mat away, and sink back towards your heels. Good, keep up, keep going. Come forward, lower like one piece of steel, push up using the backs of your arms, and sink back. Good. Forward, bend at those elbows. Use the backs of your arms to push yourself up and away. Keeping those elbows grazing the side of the body as you lower and push up. Good, moving at your own pace. We've got 3 more. Breathe out to push up. Last one. Working that core strength, working that upper body strength, and sink back. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relax it here for 3 and 2 and 1. Walk yourself up to a kneeling position. From here, we're gonna go into some one-arm tricep push-ups. These are really effective. They're tough, but they work so well in sculpting the back of the arm. So we're gonna lay down onto our sides. I'm going to just hug my lower arm around my torso and place my right hand, or whatever arm you have on top, on the floor. Fingers are spread. You might need to make some little minor adjustments when you start, but we're going to kind of line the fingertips up with the top of the shoulder in terms of level. We're inhaling here and we're exhaling to push the mat away. Lower, just hover. I'm actually gonna pull back my hand just a little bit. Find that sweet spot where you're really feeling the work in the back of the arm as you lift and lower the torso off the mat. So I really want you to focus on the back of the arm doing the work. I've got a lot of the weight in the heel of my hand here, so I'm pushing up through the heel of my hand. That's really helping me engage the back of my right arm. Neck stays long, abs are engaged. Good, we've got 4 more. For 4, push the mat away, lower with control. 3, working those triceps. 2, and 1. Amazing work. Use both hands to help you up, and we're gonna come over and do the other side. So, lowering down gently, wrapping your lower arm around your waist, around your torso, and then positioning that hand. Remember, you can make adjustments as you go. We're gonna inhale here and exhale, push up. That's a good position for my hand, so I'm gonna leave it there. Good. Just hover your body up off the floor and then get right into the next one if you can. Good. Breathe out to lift. Engage your core. Flexing the back of the arm. Pushing up through the heel of your hand. Good work. Nice long neck. Give me 4 more. For 4 and 3. Last 2. And final 1. Use both hands to help you into a seated position. Nicely done. Let's just take a moment to stretch out the backs of our arms. So just sit cross-legged or kneel. Bend whatever arm you worked first and just gently pull the elbow back. Stretching the back of the arm. Actually, I'm doing my left arm first. That's okay. Breathing. Pull it back a little bit further gently. And then lower. Switch your arms. Gently pulling that opposite elbow back. Feeling the stretch run all the way up the back of the arm. For 5, pull it back a little further. For 4, for 3, and 2, and 1, release. Okay, now we're gonna get into our lower body work. As mentioned, I'm gonna use a band, but that is entirely up to you. You can do these without the band as well. This is just like a medium strength resistance band. I still get a lot of mobility with this band. It's not so tight that I can't move my legs apart. That's sort of the resistance I like. I like the added resistance, but I don't like to be sort of immobile because of the band. I'm gonna lower myself down, head, neck, and shoulders, down onto the mat. Position my heels so that they're directly below the knees. And the spine is in neutral right now. So you've got that little space between your low back and the mat. From here, we're gonna press our arms, the backs of our arms down onto the floor. We're gonna inhale here, and as we exhale, we're gonna tilt the pelvis back, closing that gap between the low back and the mat, and then lifting up. So I'm making sure that I'm not allowing the band to bring my knees in. I'm keeping my knees parallel in line with my hips and my ankles. So we're gonna lower and lift. And as we lift, we're tucking the tailbone so we're not overarching the spine, and we're engaging the glutes. So keep the tailbone tucked. That means you don't lift your hips quite as high, but you really focus on protecting the low back and engaging those glutes and thighs. Lower and lift. Sometimes when I'm doing these moves, if I notice any strain in my low back, I really take the lift down and focus on that tucking of the tailbone. So not allowing my low back to arch. There should be no complaints in your low back right now. Good. And lift. Now, every time you lift, I want you to really kind of gently push your knees out against the resistance of the band and squeeze your bum cheeks. Really switching the focus to the lower body here. Abs are engaged, pulling belly button down toward the spine every time we breathe out and lift those hips. Good. We've got 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. Now I've lowered all the way down to the floor. This time we're going to come up and we're going to pull the legs apart, the knees apart, and then back to parallel, lower, just hover and lift. Knees pull apart, back to parallel, lower and lift. So keep it up. Good. I'm kind of rotating out to the edges of my feet and then lowering down as I abduct those knees. Good. Don't forget to bring your knees back to parallel before you lower down. It's up, open, parallel, down. Up, open, parallel, down. So I'm really feeling it in my bum now. The gluteus medius muscles are working as I abduct those knees. Thighs are engaged as well. And remember, we've still got that tailbone tucked. Good. Lift and abduct. Lift and abduct. 2 more. Last one. And we're going to stay in this elevated position. And now we're just going to bring the knees apart, back to parallel. So same thing again, but we've gotten rid of that lowering of the bum. We're keeping the pelvis lifted as we open those knees and bring them back to parallel. Good. Whew. Glutes are working hard. We've got 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, and 1. Now I want you to abduct the knees, so separate the knees, and now we're going to just pulse them out. Pulse them out to the side. Keep those hips elevated. Good. Keep pulsing. Nice work. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to parallel with those knees and lower with control. Bring your knees in toward your chest for a moment, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice work. Now I'd like you to roll over onto your side. We're going to support the head in the hand or on the outstretched arm. Stack your hips, stack your ankles. Abs are engaged. Place your hand down on the mat for support. Pick up your legs and hinge from the hip, bringing them into a pike position. From here, we're going to lift that top leg and we're going to tap the top leg in front of the lower leg and behind the lower leg, keeping those hips stacked in front and behind. Now I really want you to engage your core here so that you're not moving around in the torso, and point both toes, sets of toes. So your lower leg is pointed, your top toes are pointed. So we're engaging all the muscles in the leg as we pop up and pop back. Pop forward and pop back. Good. Now again, if you've got a band with heavier resistance, you might not be lifting as high, that's fine. Good. Lift up and over. I often say this, but imagine you've got a little springboard under your big toe as you tap down and lift up and over. You're drawing a little rainbow in the air. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1 back to center. Now from here, we're gonna flex both feet, pulling the toes back toward the shin, hips stay stacked, and now we're lifting and lowering. That top leg, lengthening out through the heel. Hand can be on your hip or your glute for feedback, making sure that you're really contracting that muscle, or you can place it down on the mat for extra stability. Whew. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Now we're gonna come back up again and we're gonna pulse. Little controlled pulses. We've got 20 of these. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Relax it down. Whew, we are done on that side. Let's come around and do the other side. That was challenging, but I really felt it in those glutes and thighs. Okay, so we're stacking the hips, knees, and ankles, getting nice and long on our mats on the side body. Lift the legs up and hinge forward. Lift that top leg, point the toes as you tap forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, keeping those hips stacked. Abs are engaged. You'll feel this a little bit into your core as well. Move as slowly as you need to maintain stability and control. Relax those shoulders. Don't let them bunch up by your ears. Nice, stable torso. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Good work. Flex those feet, pulling the toes back toward the shins. And we are lifting and lowering with a flexed foot. Good. Legs stay perfectly parallel here. Good. Keep breathing. I know they're tough. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. I'm not looking forward to those pulses, but it's our last move. We can do it. Okay, so let's lift that top leg and we're gonna pulse. Little controlled pulses with that flexed foot. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lower down. We are done. We're gonna remove the band if you've been using it, but I'm gonna keep it close because we're gonna use it for a stretch. But first of all, we're going to stretch out the glutes. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders down onto the mat. And I'd like you to cross one leg over the other. Interlace your fingers, take them behind your thigh, and just draw that knee in toward the chest. Stretching out the glutes, opening up in the hip. Relaxing shoulders, connecting spine with the mat to stretch the low back as well. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, hugging that knee a little bit closer and toward the chest. For 4, for 3, and 2, and 1. Lower the feet to the floor, switch the crossing of the legs. Interlace your fingers behind opposite knee and bring it in close to the chest. Hug it in a little closer to you if you can, deepening the stretch while keeping the spine connected with the floor. For 5, for 4, for 3, and 2, and 1. Now, if you haven't got a band for this next one, you're going to hold on behind your thigh or your calf. If you have got a band, we're going to use it for a hamstring stretch. So place it on the bottom of one of your feet and really take a moment here to straighten that leg. You can have opposite leg straightened as well, or you can have it bent, whatever is more comfortable for you. And then when you've got that leg perfectly straight and the foot slightly flexed, we're just going to pull the leg in that little bit closer toward the chest. I'm going to keep my opposite leg bent. It's giving me a little bit more of a range of movement here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale. And as you exhale, ease into that stretch a little bit more deeply, drawing that leg back toward the chest a little bit further. Holding it a little bit further if you can for 10 and 9 and 8. Last 7, 6, 5. Enjoying that stretch running up the back of your leg for 2 and 1. Bend the knee, release the stretch. Hand behind your thigh or calf or band on the bottom of your foot if you've got one. And just pull that those toes toward the shin, straightening the leg. When you've got that straight leg, deep inhale. And exhale, ease into the stretch a little bit more deeply. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, pull that leg a little bit closer toward your chest for our last 10 seconds. Relax those shoulders, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend at the knee, release the band if you're holding on to it. Take your hands behind your thighs and roll yourself up to a seated position. You can be cross-legged or kneeling facing me. We're gonna lift our shoulders up by our ears. Inhale and exhale, roll them down and back. Last 2. And final 1. Amazing work. I hope you enjoyed that routine. I feel like we worked our lower bodies particularly well. I hope that you feel good for the rest of your day and feel really strong and well stretched. And I look forward to moving again with you next time.